Before we start our workout, Mr. Andersen, can you tell me about the front carries and tell me about some of the magic of when you were doing Strongman, how effective the front carry was? And maybe I'll just pick one of these things up and walk outside with it or something.
Well, I think
or just walk around in here.
What people tend to not understand about the front carry is by holding something in front of you, especially if it's a little bit challenging, even like a bag of groceries. If you had to take a bag of groceries and carry that for any distance, you would feel posterior chain, which you just standing there right there. All of this stuff is working just by default. I don't think that there's any way for it not to work.
And this isn't that heavy, but it's kind of big. You know, it's only 40 pounds.
The more in front of you it is, I guess what would be leverage, right? The heavier it's going to feel.
The center of gravity's.
Yeah.
So when you guys would do this, I'm imagining you guys would do it probably with pretty big boy weights because you were a professional strongman.
Pounds.
Holy shit. Yeah. How far would you walk with around 400 pounds or 300 pounds, something like that?
And that's a great question. That would actually have to do with the apparatus. If you could keep it close, you could actually go a pretty good distance. But if it was one of these goofy, like sometimes they put a big field stone in front of you, then it was out like this, then it was much tougher. Guys are back like this, and the posterior chain, it's really what
you kind of walk.
You almost
here,
have to waddle because you got to get your hips under it, you know. But I mean, in those type settings, in those competitions, you literally are walk at your hamstrings. They just fail. They just to the point where you just kind of you can't stand up anymore.
Right.
The oxygen, those muscles get so depleted of oxygen.
Would you guys, I know strongman guys are usually like wearing like a lot of different stuff for particular events. Would you wear a belt and stuff like that with that? Or
see the hustle on that, especially if it was a field stone, right? So you have a judge and he's watching you, right? So you pick it up and you get it up over your belt, right? Because he's watching to make sure you're holding it.
Nick Best showed us that you wear the belt real big. And then
as soon as you see he's not looking, you let it settle down to the belt. Nice. And now think like this. Now you've got this thing around your belt, and so really at that point, it's hooked onto your hips. Then all you got to do
a little leverage advantage there, but it's still heavy as shit.
Oh yeah,
you're still screwed.
But let's just say that it takes 20% of that load off you, which usually it would. That's the difference maker. You know, I actually, there was a competition once where it was a little stupid that I did what I did, but I was just so excited. I won the event, and it was this big field stone. It was actually on the beach, so we were carrying it in sand, and it was being filmed, so there's the camera just like this. And I win the event, and I walk past the mark, and I stopped, right? Because that's kind of your gloat and having fun, right? So I literally let go and flexed my arm. Uh-oh. They didn't catch it, but I mean, literally, I was saying it's hooked on the belt because you couldn't hold that with one arm.
You could take both hands, do double bicep. Would have been amazing.
Yeah, but the front carry, I mean, in terms of for people that just want to have some functional strength, think about. I mean, you carry a kid, you carry a bag of groceries. Think about all the things in life we carry. And you can get a sandbag for next to nothing, and you can walk down the street with it.
I'll show you something I used to do a while back. I haven't done it in a while, but super simple. Everyone has access to one of these guys.
Yeah.
Just try to walk with this.
Totally.
And have it not hit your body at all.
Yeah.
And just see how far you get. Like I'll actually just, as a quick demonstration, just show you right now. It's going to start to tilt after a little bit. Working your biceps.
Yeah, you're getting the biceps.
Lower back.
All sorts of cool stuff.
It's like really won't take long before I start to melt.
Melt's a good word because it's those muscles slowly get tired.
Yep.
And as they start getting oxygen deprived, your position starts changing.
So yeah, biceps are already, they're like, hey, I feel it.
You're even, because it's static, you're even getting some tendon stuff too. You're feeling it in the crooks of your arms too?
Yep.
Classic example of how simple and effective training can be with literally no equipment.
Let's say you fatigue and you want to do something a little different. Maybe you try to get it in here. Now walk with it this way.
Now that's literally more like the front carry that we would do.
Right.
Imagine that was 400 pounds rather than 45 pounds.
If you have something lighter, go further. If you have something heavier, maybe go a little shorter distance. I think for a lot of you listening and watching, you could probably easily handle 50 to 100 pounds, somewhere in that range. Just give it a shot, and I think if you have access to a sandbag or a heavy med ball, it'd probably be a good place to start, but you can also just walk around with a plate.
Anything. The key is just doing it.
Right. And getting some consistency with it.
Yep.
You guys would do that every week?
That was how we would start our training. There was because the front carry, it was like the Conan's wheel. That was also a front carry. So there's a lot of things that applied itself to. But more than anything, it was just a gut check. Like when we got done with that, we felt like we got our ass kicked. It was kind of like, okay, now we're going to run through 5-6 events. So at the end of a strongman competition, you're pretty beat up. And it's, being able to get yourself up to do it again was half of the battle of competition.
And then like once a week, you guys would do 5 to 7 events.
Yep.
Like on like a Saturday or something like that?
Sunday, yeah. It was like church, Sunday. We called it. It was like, that was like, we do mock contests. So whatever contest
Do you have donuts? Because I have donuts at church.
No donuts. Well, we would basically, whatever, because I was always, in those days, you're always preparing for the next one, right? So I would, once they released the events, we would just be basically doing the mock contest. And that was because you have to specifically prepare, and that's how we would do it. But we would start off with the front carry as like the precursor. Okay, let's put ourselves in a tough spot, then perform.
Because everything's already fatigued.
Yeah.
And now if you're going to work your overhead and stuff, your core's already shot.
Everything. Yeah.
But you get used to it.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's conditioning.
It's like when I would finish those days, I would then go run the steps. So it was just me getting used to this massive amount of
how big are these steps?
Figure 150 with one landing in the middle. And it was like if you would double step it.
Why would you do that as a strongman? Isn't strongman just about being strong? Or you got to be in shape for strongman too,
well,
huh?
Strongman is about being able to, it's high output for 60 seconds, sometimes 90. It seems like now they're, with the massive dudes in, it seems like the events are a little bit more single and
1,000 and 1,100 pound deadlifts left and right.
Yeah. But back when I was in more of the athletic era, it was not uncommon for an event to go 90 seconds or sometimes even 2 minutes. Like Magnuson, man, he was always putting together these goofy events. Like, oh my God, man, what are you doing to us here? Like tire flip down, 50 feet, pull a sled back this way.
Like a medley, huh?
Yeah, and then another tire down, and then like a 2-minute time limit. Like, so you got to be ready to kick ass for 2 minutes. So, so the high output, high intensity, it's like I always tell myself, it's not who's strong right now, it's who's strong in 60 seconds from now.
Right. I remember that back in the day, they would carry that anchor and all that crazy stuff. Those medleys
if you
were
look
brutal.
at back in those in the like the 2000s, like the early 2000s, it was a very different sport than now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still some things that are similar. I mean, but it's just the evolution. I think now people want to see these crazy weights. Now it's like if you're not a 1,000-pound deadlifter, you're not a top.
You can't even be part of it.
Yeah, you're not even close. You're not getting invites.
No. What are we starting with for? We're doing some upper body stuff today.
I always warm up with some sort of a lateral.
Let me show you these guys. See how you like these. This is super light. It's only like 15 pounds or something. But
I can imagine.
Decent warm up.
Yeah,
but you stick your arm in here like this.
Yeah.
And do a lateral raise. So you put your.
We're putting a hand here.
Put your hand inside it like that, and then the fat one's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you can grab a fat grip if you want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yep. That's perfect. I usually warm up with about roughly a lightweight like this. That's perfect.
Yeah, there you go. And it just kind of takes away from having to really grip it a lot,
Yeah, and the wrist. That was probably the joints. As I get older, are one of those things I have to be the most cognizant of.
Do you get like body work done, massage type stuff? You mess around with any of that or not?
Never ever done that stuff.
Oh,
Funny enough, yeah. She's always telling me that I should. It was one of those things to where
it really can. I mean, I'll tell you firsthand, it can help a ton to have. It's not easy to find somebody that is proficient at it, though. She's like, "See, I told you."
I do the best I can. That's like trying to work over a small farm animal. That's a lot of work.
I know.
Well, here was the way I looked at it. Early on, when I was kind of deciding, I was like, okay, I'm putting in all this work. There's all these things, all these responsibilities need to be done. There are certain things I need to put my energy on. I had to kind of rank them. Like, what did I feel was going to give me the best return?
Right.
And I felt that when I made that decision, and I tried a little body work. I just felt like it wasn't giving me between
the return you wanted.
30 minutes to get there, the hour I'm there, the 30 minutes back. felt like there was 2 hours that I could spend more effectively elsewhere. Look good, dude. Look at that.
Thank you.
Look like a savage, man.
Your elbow bothers you a little bit, or did you say your elbow, or is it mainly your lat?
You know, I have, it's actually this side. I've torn this lat off quite
a big
few
lat.
times. Like if you look at the difference between the two, you can see.
Mm-hmm. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and I've actually spent a lot of time trying to rework this one, but it's actually like the thickness of it. Like if you look from the side.
Right.
Yeah, so it's, I honestly don't know why. Maybe it's wear and tear, maybe it's not, but I just train around it. Just train around a lot of stuff, you know. Like we were saying earlier, you know, it's the idea of.
It's always hard to figure this out, but yeah, your hand goes in like that.
I finally figured it. Yeah,
Stick your hand in that way. Boom. There you go.
It's the idea of. I liked it better when I had this part up. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
The idea of training now for enjoyment brings a different set of guidelines.
Yeah. Yeah, you're training for fun. You're not responsible.
Yeah.
For anything other than trying to make your body look the way you want it to look.
The gauge that I use is my effort. Did I feel like I gave the effort it deserved? And if I did, I'm gonna have a good workout. I'm gonna enjoy it. Just try to. I mean, as I get older, I'm probably simplification is probably one of the things that I really stay focused on. So the more simple something is, the better I'm gonna be at it.
We had a guy on our show. His name is Bill Maeda, and Bill is super shredded. Not a bodybuilder type guy, but just really lean guy. Lives out in Hawaii, and he loves doing like a lot of these different. I would just say like just really interesting movement patterns. Like they're challenging movements. They're not necessarily powerlifting. It's not necessarily strongman. It's just like movement patterns where you're like, that would be challenging to do that because the movement's so hard, never mind the weight that he's sometimes using, right? But Bill says, you know, I really like this quote that he had on our podcast. He just said, I just like to do one really hard thing a day. So if you go and work out, and let's say you're doing some shoulders and you're doing some biceps and you're training, training hard, you're getting after it, but you really didn't do anything that hard.
Yeah.
That's when you just, right before you leave the gym, get that one set in.
Yeah.
That one big drop set or whatever it is.
Yep.
Get your mind a little twisted up with something that is going to be some good medicine for you on your way out the door.
No, it's really good because I often will find myself towards the tail of my training wrapping sometimes 3, maybe even 4 exercises together, because by the time I finish that circuit, you know, I definitely feel like I'm breathing through a straw.
Right.
It's that challenge. It's that challenge. It's like it's leaving feeling fulfilled. You know, and doing something difficult, that's pretty much a guaranteed way to feel fulfilled in my eyes.
Yeah, you might, you know, at that time, do something that you know will bury you. You know.
Yep.
That's maybe not the time to try something new. That's the time to
100%.
Like I'm going to go on this machine that I know is going to make me feel like I'm getting crushed, or I'm going to do this front carry on my way out the door to make sure I feel annihilated. You know.
Yeah, there's that. It's like checking that box.
Yeah, maybe something here.
Yeah. I love it. So you say you weigh how much right now?
Like 215 or so, 220.
You look good, dude. Yeah, especially like right here. Holy shit, dude. This is jumping right here. The separation is in that delt. So what's your diet been like, brother?
Just super low fat recently.
Really?
You know, I made a switch. You know, for a long time I was doing very low carb.
Yep.
And that served me really well, and I lost 100 pounds doing that.
Yep.
You know. And then You're just the effectiveness sometimes of something.
Yep.
It was still effective. It was helpful for me to manage my weight, but it wasn't great for muscle building. And bringing the carbs in has allowed me to sort of, I guess, shift into a little bit of like bodybuilding stuff.
How much carbohydrate are you using a daily basis?
I'll eat a nice amount, like 400 to 600 or so, kind of depending on the day.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
But very, very little fat, like maybe 30, 40 grams of fat.
Yeah, really managing low fat. Because if you have them both, that's where everything gets out of hand quick.
100%. Yeah, so I mean, it could be, it doesn't matter too much on what carbs it is. It could be candy, it could be rice cakes.
Well, see, I saw you doing this.
Not worried about
Talking about the sugar diet.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Great. I think it's super effective for weight loss. But then in terms of bodybuilders have it down pat because they know that you need the protein in there to maintain the muscle mass.
Yeah.
So one of the issues with the sugar diet, for the sugar diet to work under some of the research that was done on it, you're best off not having protein. So you're mainly just eating carbohydrates. But then you just get into a position where eventually your luck's going to run out with that because your body needs amino acids.
Yeah, at some point it's going to start chewing up its own if you don't give it what it needs.
And you store protein in your muscle tissue.
Yeah.
So eventually
at some point it's depleted.
It's hard to know that fine line though. So I would do it for like a day and then I would bump out of it. I would do it for a day and then I would jump out of it. Or I even tried it for a full week to kind of see what it would do. But that was too far. But you got to go too far, right?
Yeah, you got to figure out where it is.
You got to go too far.
Yeah, we got to know where that level is, for sure.
But yeah, doing it for days at a time felt really effective. It felt almost a little bit like an intermittent fast.
Interesting.
And the idea and principle of it is that when you're in that state that your body starts to produce some other hormones, cascade of hormones that just cranks your metabolism up. And what they found in some of the research was that people, I think they did a couple studies on some people and a couple studies on some mice, but they found that the people were able to eat an equivalent of like around 800 calories more. And so that's what kind of piqued my interest. I was like, wait a second, 800 calories more?
Yeah.
Where do I sign up? I want to try this out. So it's not easy to follow though, because you have to eat like a lot.
Yeah.
And then you're not eating a lot of like, it's not that enjoyable to like eat. You think it would be enjoyable.
Yeah, it's great the first few hours.
It's not enjoyable to
anytime you eat too much of anything.
Eat sugar all day long,
Yeah.
It would be fun to eat sugar if it was with fat, but it's sugar in the absence of fat.
Yeah.
So
probably not very satiating.
No. So I'll still do it. Like I did it yesterday for like 3/4 of the day, and then the back half of the day was still meat, veggies, potatoes.
So like what are you choosing to eat?
Usually fruit juice, things like that when I'm doing the sugar diet. Maybe a little candy here and there before a workout or something. Like I have some gummy bears over there.
So like the sugar diet is where you're using sugar, but then the sugar fast is where you're only using sugar.
Correct. Yeah, the sugar diet would just be...
Which one did you prefer? They both have their purpose.
The sugar diet, I think, is more effective because you're getting the best of both worlds. You're sprinkling in the protein later on in the evening.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't sugar fast for too long, basically.
That's a thought that I've always had too. Is that we think of a daily protein requirement, but I think maybe you could think maybe there might be a 2-day or a 3-day.
Yep, correct. I believe that.
Yeah, because there are days where
not a weekly though.
There's a certain X amount of days is going to go too far. A week that's too many.
Also, too, think about it this way: if you're doing protein muscle synthesis. It happens from eating protein, right? It happens from lifting. It happens from taking steroids, which is great, but it happens from eating protein and from mechanical tension, right? And if you have enough mechanical tension to induce protein breakdown, but then you're not giving yourself protein within the next X amount of hours, say 48 hours, you're probably making a mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It probably doesn't have to be immediate.
Yeah.
And maybe some people would say, hey, I'd rather have it be immediate. I would agree. I would say that's fine.
Yeah, if you're trying to make sure that there's only growth, I mean, that's the safest thing is just do it right away.
Correct. Yeah, why would you? And that's why bodybuilders don't really... I tell people all the time, you know, the guys on stage, they eat a good amount of carbs, they eat a lot of protein, and their fat is in the basement, usually for weeks on end, along with doing a lot of cardio. Not everybody does the cardio. Everyone's a little different with the cardio piece, I guess. But did you have to do a lot of cardio when you were bodybuilding?
You know, it kind of depends, to be honest, because it's like you're trying to achieve a certain look. And any bodybuilder says, I need to do X without registering, you know, like too much cardio can actually make you stringy. You know, so if you're...
It's the worst.
Yeah, so if your body fat's down and you use the cardio kind of as needed, you know what I mean? Because if you just do something to do it, you're really not understanding the art of bodybuilding.
Right.
There's been times when...
I've done that before. I've had my body composition head the wrong direction.
Yeah.
You try a diet, or I've tried fasting or certain things, and you're like, I lost my shoulders, or I'm stringy. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Or you go to flex, and there's just not as much to flex anymore.
Yeah. It's like where you can't get a pump, you know? Like too much fish, whitefish especially. You know, there's something about... Like I started
to
using...
have next to no fat at all in your diet.
Yeah, I started using egg whites over fish because I felt like egg whites just kept my muscles fuller, because you're looking to have...
Better amino acid profile,
yeah,
maybe.
just in the way that we all respond to different shit. But, you know, when it comes down to, you're going to want to carry beef in your diet, red meat, as long as you can, because it's got a different profile altogether. It's going to keep you fuller.
B vitamins and stuff.
Yeah, but obviously there's a level of sometimes you just got to kind of force the body to do shit.
Right.
That's the part where it gets no fun. Well, I guess it's a different type of fun.
So you had a chance to do strongman, bodybuilding, pro wrestling.
Yeah. You actually were part of my pro wrestling journey. So I was just kind of switching.
Getting you over to Japan, I remember.
Yeah, I was just kind of making that switch. And that was when, it was actually Jesse Burdick introduced us.
Yep.
Because he was down training in our group. And that was how, it's so cool how the universe lines stuff up for us.
Both his daughters just went off to college recently, too.
Did they really?
How crazy is that?
I remember when he showed up down to the training group, 340 pounds. Like, holy shit, look at this guy, man.
He was a big boy.
Oh my God. Like, big is not even, there's dudes that look big, and then there was him.
Yeah.
It was a different kind of big, you know? And he wasn't like a big fat dude.
Right.
It wasn't like he had abs, but he wasn't fat. He was just massive.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesse's always been a student. A student of the game. What's your gauge for stuff like this? Like, do you go to like absolute failure? Or do you go to kind of form and technique breakdown? Or
yeah, I mean, especially on a day like today, you know, we're having fun and talking, so trying to maintain that place where I can still pay attention,
right,
and have a little bit of an interaction, conversation, but try to shoot for, bringing the muscle to some level of failure or close to it is really what's going to prompt it to adapt. Woo.
Yeah, if you're not pushing, kind of hard to get much change unless you're new.
Yeah.
or unless you haven't done it in a long time, then you might be able to get away with not pushing too hard. What would you say, like on a scale of 1 to 10, someone's got to be like brushing up at least against like an 8 or something, right?
In terms of muscle
it's like intensity, failure.
Yeah, I mean, I think
they don't necessarily have to be at a 10 all the time, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think what I always try to tell people is, look.
I didn't know that you're at a 10 24/7, but
gauge, because that's a great question. How do you know? Well, gauge your effort. Do you walk out feeling like you could feel like you just kind of sat down for a cup of coffee?
Right.
You could walk out feeling like somebody beat you up, or you go out feeling in the middle. Well, gauge that effort. And the more you do it, you're going to want to walk out of there feeling like somebody kicked your ass. And that's the simplest way. It's like, how do you feel? Because everybody knows how they feel. But it's hard to sometimes understand, well, did this muscle respond?
I like that, because then you can, different days you have a different feel, right? Different
100%.
days you're like, I want to feel,
like
I want to feel like I can't come back tomorrow. Sometimes that's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
And other times it's nice to be like, I'm glad I left something in the tank for tomorrow, because tomorrow's legs or whatever. You know what I mean?
A leg day, you should walk out of there feeling like you get hit by a truck.
Yeah.
I mean, even just by the nature of how big the muscles are. I mean,
I do one more
even
set
if you're
of
not
shoulder.
working to failure, let's run through that again. It's fun. Those muscles are so big, if you're pushing them, you're going to be exhausted.
Right.
That's just the nature of them. Is you worked a huge part of your body.
Yeah, it's funny, the leg extension, which is just like a whatever machine, especially for a strongman guy or a power lifter, but man, that one can put you in some agonizing pain.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because like a squat, someone can use their back on a squat.
Yep, a lot of muscles.
Yeah, certain types of lift you can,
You fudge it,
yeah.
for sure.
For my squat, my squat was always so wide. I was a power lifter, so
Yeah.
I was able to get like way out here,
Yeah.
lean forward, and at that time I had a belly. I could
Yeah.
use my stomach and just kind of use my back and my hips.
A lot of hips, yeah.
I didn't really even need, my quads weren't even really part of it, or didn't feel like they were a big part of it.
Yeah, just kind of supporting the cast. I was thinking about this the other day, bro. What do you think? How many hours, and I say this with love, how many hours do you think you've spent in the gym, bettering yourself?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's just, because they say the 10,000 hour rule. I think that guys like us have put 10,000 hours,
I started
a
when I
couple
was,
decades ago.
yeah, I started when I was 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, there's been times where I haven't missed the gym in, a year or two,
I mean, I
Maybe
still
travel every once in a while. I might miss a day.
Well, I say I haven't missed a scheduled week, because I used to have to schedule off a week for recovery. But I haven't missed a scheduled week, days here and there, the whole time. It's
Right.
been 40 years, roughly.
Yeah. That's a lot of exercising.
A lot of loving, because we love it. Easy to do when you love it.
Well, a lot of time just spent in the gym too, like just being in the gym. There's lifting.
Yeah,
And
the
then there's
smell,
just
the
like-
sound.
And there's being in the gym, chatting it up with people. When you're 15 and you're talking to
Yep.
the old guy at the gym that has the giant gym bag.
Yeah.
And he's got the chalk and baby powder and liniment and belt. He's got that guy, the old guy at the gym.
He's got
that
it
rests
all.
10 minutes between all the sets.
Yep.
And mummifies himself to do the hack squat every week. Puts the ace bandages around his elbows and his knees for the hack squat for some reason. And you're like, what's this guy doing?
And there's not many gyms left for guys like that.
Right, right.
You see them in these like 24s. And it's
They don't fit, yeah.
Yeah. So true.
Next to the kid with the the earbuds in and the Gymshark
Yeah.
shirt.
On social media in between
Right.
sets.
Film himself, yeah. Yeah, doing stuff before the social media era is interesting. You don't really film a lot of workouts.
No.
That might be something for you to get into a little bit. Showing people a little bit of your workouts a little bit more.
Yeah, I've done just a little bit. I always have just been.
I think your strategy would be interesting for people. Like, I think people would love to hear your strategy because you are 53.
Well, you know, I think now as I get older, and the way, like we talked about, you know, how I gauge and how I recommend other people, you know, get a good workout, gauge your effort. I feel like now in my training, there's much more. There'll be many more user-friendly tips for the average person. As were before, it probably could have been confusing, maybe a little dangerous, because the way I was doing things, I've always trained, you know, quite different anyway. But now that I'm training more for enjoyment, it's just a different outcome. I think now I can share probably a lot more that I could share with the general public.
Yeah, I think, you know, even
applicable.
Even your strongman stuff, I think a lot of people would love. Like, I always felt that strongman is strongman for a reason, you know? Mm-hmm. The weights that they use are incredible. But I always felt it could be way more inviting if the weights were a lot lighter.
Yep.
Like, even these sandbags, for example. I have these sandbags here, and these are full of sand. At my house, they're full of rice because they're half the weight.
Yeah.
I want to work with half the weight. You know what I mean? Like, working with these is nice. It's fun. But it's also nice and more,
the barrier of entry is lower.
The barrier of entry is lower when it's like, oh, this is 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's this big rather than this tiny little bag is 200 pounds. You know what I mean? You're like, how's that tiny little bag 200 pounds?
Yeah, for sure.
But now you're seeing like the stone lifting and stuff taking off too.
Yeah.
People are getting way into that shit. That wasn't there before. I mean, when I went to Ireland, this guy showed me all around his town all these different famous stones that they lift.
Yeah, over there. I mean, it's in the roots over there.
Yep.
But I think, you know, for many years, I didn't do much of didn't share my training because it was kind of like, that was just my time.
It's private.
Know? Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And it was like, I mean, it was like, you know, it's interruption, it's lack of focus, and it was just like, I don't know, I feel like so much of me was developed in that squat rack alone. Yeah. You know, and I guess I just always kind of held that close to my heart, you know. I always say that.
Well, you still found your way on social media without that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You didn't have to.
I mean, I always say.
You didn't have to get the right angle on someone, you know, filming your farmer's carry or yoke walk.
Yep.
Your farmer's carry and your yoke walk was for you and your teammates and the people that you cared about that you were training with.
Yep, very true.
That's the intensity, the focus was right there.
You think about how much we've learned about ourselves in the squat rack. I say that's the one place on the planet I probably learned more about who I am.
Right.
Inside that squat rack.
Yeah, what you made out of.
Yep. You know, one thing I have been battling some nerve issues as I get older.
In the neck?
I'm probably stemming from the neck. I think probably due to the wrestle. Like this shoulder, like it's my dominant arm, but I'm actually weaker on this side. And I fixed it now, but I had this issue where my arm was going to sleep. I've got that squared away, but between that and I got some S1 issues, that was for the back. So it's because the damaged nerves are really hard to get to come back.
Yeah.
So
I know Joe Sullivan had an issue with that. I've never ever seen him bent that bar right around his neck.
Crazy dude.
You ever see that? He couldn't rack the weight back or whatever.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
He is, and
Sweet dude.
he used some peptides, and he used
Yeah, I talked to him about
nootropics and stuff,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
helps.
Yeah,
I think
no,
he
I've-
still has a little neural issue a little bit, but I think he got it back.
The peptide. I mean, I got this arm to stop going to sleep from peptides.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 5-6 times a day. This, when something goes,
God.
to sleep, yeah, it was. And Terry and I, we can, for the most part, with the body, we can find. Is it a posture? Is it this? It's usually somehow where we're living our life that's creating that problem. I think for me, it was some sort of a nerve impingement that's finally developing. But it was the peptides. I used 3 different peptides that finally brought it to the point where now it
Copper
doesn't.
peptide and
Yeah, it's basically the 3 put together called the Glow Stack. But it's BP, C157, TB500, and GHKCU. And I just started, every time I would do it, right in the shoulder. And next thing you know, I was like, I do it 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And
every day, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
yeah, every day. And I would actually do it twice. I like to do things twice, morning and night. I think the body works better. Even like for TRT, these doctors give someone a shot every 10th day.
Oh.
Imagine if you did that, every other day, how much better it would work.
Right.
So I just think that smaller, more frequent doses of anything is better. Even with diet, if you were trying to upload nutrients, you're better off to just be, chipping away at them all day.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was like the 3rd day of the 3rd run through. I was like, my arm didn't go to sleep today. Whoa. So that's pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's
do something else. Yeah.
Skull Crusher. Can you?
Sure.
Do those sound good?
Just do whatever, brother. We're having fun hanging out training.
Skull Crusher and maybe like a front raise or something.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Let's see. Start out with something medium.
So where did that other gym was massive? Where did a lot of that equipment
It's
go?
at my house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
that's
at
your
my house.
home gym. What am I talking about? Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus
it's at my
Christ.
house. And then I have at my house. I also have a volleyball court because my sister-in-law, she coaches volleyball, so she does some one-on-one sessions in there on the volleyball
That's
court.
cool.
But eventually, when she bumps her volleyball court out of there, it'll just be a whole gym for me.
Oh, it's indoors.
Yeah.
Is that inside your gym?
Mm-hmm. It's inside my gym. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to look.
Yeah.
closer.
So there's 2 4,000 square foot spots. So I'm just waiting for the day that she.
Oh, so one of them is hers. One of them is yours.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna say, whenever you're walking around, I'm always checking out in the background. I say, I don't remember seeing a volleyball court back there.
Yeah. I did some stuff with O'Hearn in there on the volleyball court.
Oh, really?
He's natural.
Dude, what I say about him? Who gives a shit? A cool cat, though.
Yeah.
Whatever he's taking, whatever he's not taking, he'll still kick your ass. What's the difference?
Right.
I mean,
He's been unbelievable for so many years
dude,
now.
I went and trained with him. Was it last year? I mean, dude, granted, I shouldn't say it was 2 years ago. So I was actually a little bigger, still training harder. Dude, he just wiped me out.
Yep.
I mean, and he knows he can do it too. We're doing.
I would say even now, he could go and lift with Sam Solik
Oh yeah.
or even some strongman dudes. He's not going to beat strongman guys on strongman
But he'll
stuff.
hang in there.
But he can hang in there, and then behind the neck presses and all these weird exercises that he can do in the gym.
Yeah.
It's like you pick 5 exercises Mike O'Hearn can hang with or beat anybody in the world.
That was one of the things that we actually did because not many people do behind the neck. So I'm like, dude, let's do behind the neck. She said, oh, you do them? I said, fuck, let's go. And he went up to 3 plates. I went up to 275. But he's just. It's like so. We're doing incline presses right, with the dumbbells, right? So of course. And he's a great dude, just nothing but positivity, but we're pushing each other, right? So 150 is as high as it goes. So I get my setup 150. So he grabs the 150s, right? And then I just forgot his name. He just passed. Great dude down there.
Oh, Doug.
Yes.
Doug Fouché.
He looks over at Doug, gives him some sort of a wink or something. Doug comes walking over, right? Grabs some 35s. So Mike puts up the 150s. Doug puts 35s on top.
Oh shit!
And then he just started. No wrist wraps, no nothing.
That's
I was
great.
just like, dude.
Yeah, he'll do. Mike will take 100-pound dumbbells, I think, from what I remember, and do flies with them.
Savage, dude.
I mean, controlled flies, they're not like way out, but
and
it's
the
a
thing
fly.
too, he uses the muscle. He, like from strength, we just move. He just lets that
He'll
chest
close his eyes and like lock in.
The chest is doing all the work.
There's basically, I mean, it's the easiest way to put it. There's never been anybody like him.
No, I agree.
Ever.
And the way he takes care of himself, he looks like he's 35.
That amount of consistency.
Yeah.
His kid is big. His kid, Titan, is like 5 or 6.
It's going to be unbelievable.
And he's freaking massive.
Yeah, he's going to be unbelievable because he's been raised the way that a human was designed to be raised.
Right. Eating meat.
Yeah.
Eating fruit.
He's just chewing on chunks of tuna.
Right.
I think he was telling me he didn't have a carbohydrate for the first 2 years of his life or something because it was
except for some of his mom's milk or whatever.
Yep. But yeah, he's gonna be fun to watch with his dad's guidance. Holy Toledo, what that kid's gonna be capable of is gonna be a whole different deal.
A little more weight for that one, huh? That was a little on the lightish
That's
side.
right. That's good though. I don't mind. But yeah, a few more pounds is fine with me.
Just did some front raises. That felt pretty good.
Yeah, I saw you doing those. This is a good old set of dumbbells, brother.
Yeah.
I think you're better than this.
So off camera, you were telling me you had a few surgeries.
Yeah.
What are those surgeries, and are there things you have to really? Is any of your life compromised, or is it just like avoid a couple things and lifting and you're fine?
So with my knee was the first one. I had a terrible triad. So it was a ACL, MCL, and then split the meniscus. It was actually in strongman sumo wrestling. It was in sand, and it was a Polish dude. I tossed him.
What a wacky thing to have you guys do,
Oh, dude. And they had the little things on us, the whole deal.
Little underwear, little thong things.
We're set up, and I could feel he was pushing so hard, right? I was like, so I pushed back, he was thinking it was going to be like an equal bull rush. And as soon as Maggie was going to blow the whistle, I was just going to pull, and that's exactly what I did. But this foot was deep in the sand, and that knee just went.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so that was, funny enough, this knee is stronger than the other one that was not surgery. Then my next one was my back. That was basically, the problem with that one is I waited too long and it impinged the S1 nerve. So that nerve still gives me trouble. Like my left calf doesn't fire properly because of that. And then the third one was my bicep was actually in the ring. Popped that sucker loose about 3 minutes into a 12-minute match. Had to finish that baby out. And so that would, I guess for the most part, I can't say that the actual joint is a problem, but I just tend to be a little bit more cognizant of the fact that, there was a problem there,
right?
But I think my back was, that one was for a long time. Once I got done with the surgery, I was actually avoiding certain lifts, thinking I was, I guess I'd be a little afraid,
Yeah, of course.
Because it was, the pain I went through, that was brutal, really brutal. Once I started deadlifting and squatting again, I don't have any problems.
Nice.
It's the people that have a hurt back that don't do those movements, the problem gets worse.
Right.
I just needed to re-strengthen it. Now keep in mind, I'm going to be in perfect position
right
at all times. Never going to let my, that's how I heard it was, you know, trying to finish off a deadlift with a round back.
Right.
You know, so I'll never make that mistake again. But for the most part, especially where I am now in my training and my life, they don't, if it had an issue that plagues me, and it's not really a plague, it's just the nerve, the nerve stuff, because the nerve stuff is really slow to regenerate. But there are actually some peptides coming out that have been really, really helpful, and like some stuff that really is just like new to the market. I think there's one called ARA 290. There's very little experience with it, but so I'm understanding it. It's really helping with some nerve regeneration. So
it's nice that the peptides, unlike some other things we've been exposed to in the past.
Yep.
I don't want to say that things are safe because I don't have the education to know how safe they are. But the peptides, they seem benign in their nature. Like, I'm sure you can hurt yourself with them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't hurt yourself
with anything.
Right. But they seem to be like similar to taking B vitamins or vitamin C.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it causes like a real threat to the body. Obviously, there's some peptides because there's GLP-1s and stuff like that. They fall in the peptide category. If you take too much of those, we know you can hurt yourself.
Yeah.
But BPC and TB and copper peptide and like a lot of these things, seems like you can blast a nice amount of it.
Yep.
And mainly just get benefit. I'm sure there's a risk to it.
Yeah.
But it seems to be mainly
smart,
reward.
for sure, being sensible for sure.
Research it always.
But the idea of a peptide is that it's really just telling the body to do a better job of what it's supposed to do.
Right. And they don't seem to interfere with hormones.
Totally
They're
different
not
system.
messing with androgens or androgenic.
Totally different system. As to where, like, you know, TRT, you stop and your endocrine system goes off balance. This stuff you could start and stop and there's no difference.
Right.
Which obviously makes it a lot more user friendly.
I had a chance to train with Branch Warren years ago.
Oh, really?
He came out and did the podcast.
What a savage he is, huh?
Oh my God. I was like, how do you train? You do high reps, high sets, heavy weight? He's like, yep. And then
all of the above.
And he's like, are you ready to go? I was like, yeah, I think so. And then he grabbed like 50-pound or 45-pound dumbbells, start doing like front raises. And he's just like right off the bat, like just switched.
Yeah.
He's super nice when he walked in. He was nice when we trained, but he just like flipped a switch, and I was like, oh, okay.
Savage.
Makes sense. Makes sense why he was runner-up, Mr. Olympia. I mean, for that guy to be runner-up, Mr. Olympia, that was really something else.
I was there that year. I thought he had it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people did. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he looked awesome.
Yeah, some people are genetic specimens. Some people are kind of a mix. I would say he's more of a mix. He's a mix of grit, hard work.
Yeah.
And of course, like IFBB Pro, you need certain genetics for that. And IFBB Mr. Olympia stage, you need certain genetics for that. But I would say he was more in the middle. Like he really worked his ass off for it.
Yeah, I love those workhorse stories. That's what people need to see. That's healthy for people to see.
You think Nick Walker's gonna be able to get it this year? He looks kind of ridiculous, right?
Dude, I saw a picture of him just sitting like this. What happened?
Everything's like popping. Like he's sometimes
so much muscle.
Sometimes he's even just like in a sweatshirt and like pants, and you see like veins and muscles through everything.
Yeah, he's got.
Samson does have that waist. Samson's got that smaller waist, which is nice.
There's something about some people just have that thing where they can just put on muscle, you know?
That bubbly muscle, you know, the muscle on top of muscle.
That 3D, yeah. For sure.
I remember talking to Jay Cutler one time. It's like the funniest story. He asked me about Stan. He goes, "How's that guy doing?" I go, "Stan," I go, "He's doing great. He put out a book." And he goes, "Man," he goes, "it's a shame." He's like, "That guy just never really got that big." And I was like, I was thinking like that shows you like the level.
Yeah.
And he kind of was just talking about like the thickness of his legs.
Yeah.
You know, and Stan had good legs on stage, but they just didn't have that.
The girth wasn't there.
That girth that you need for that level,
that
right?
level, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, what a screwed up sport, man. That's such a tough sport. You look like the Rhino. You look like Stan Efferding, and it's not good enough.
Yeah. There he is. What's up, dude? How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, and they told you your legs were small, right? Or
yeah,
you needed more of a sweep.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's such an illusion, you know. And you know, you could be up there so there was times where I was up there in the 270s, but it's the illusion.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that's 240 and he looks way bigger,
right?
Because it's just almost, you kind of have to understand it. You know, some of
those guys know how to show their muscle too, and some guys are mobile, and then they're able to like, you know, get in certain positions a little bit better and stuff.
Well, that was my whole career was less than 10 contests. Mm-hmm. You know, that was, you know, anytime we're doing something, the more we do it, the more experience we get, the better we get.
Absolutely.
And I think that was, you know, when I turned pro my second contest, my pro debut was my third. And then I did another, maybe I had 11, 12 contests before it was over. But you could just see the difference in the guys that, you know, had 30, 40 contests under their belt. You know, they were just, even in posing, you know, they've been posing for, you know, my whole bodybuilding career from front to back was 7 years. Some of these guys have been posing for 7 years before they even got on stage.
You were mentioning some squats and deadlifts. So
yep.
I'd imagine you don't squat and deadlift the way you used to. But
no.
You probably do some representation of some sort of bending at the knees, some sort of squat.
Oh, I still squat and deadlift for sure. But again, I'm doing it with the idea that I want to feel good, I want to look good, and I want to do it again next time it's scheduled.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
The squat.
Let's kind of see how he's getting that stretch. He's getting in way down into here. This is gonna take a long time before you can develop tricep like that. He's even got some separation and striations through the back part here, which I don't know if I've ever seen. But that's what happens when you work out with Jon Andersen. He's mutated a little bit. What would be a decent weight for him to?
How fast do we want him to burn out?
You don't want to kill him or anything, but just maybe, you know, just something to like, I don't know, show on
just
video.
kind of just a demonstration.
Yeah, just a demonstration, but something challenging.
A few hundred pounds, probably.
How many?
A few. 2, I guess.
A few hundred?
Yeah, a couple 100 pounds. I mean, it's because it's out here, that's going to be heavy. The one you were carrying was 40.
Yeah, this is just a med ball.
Yeah, but I mean, like these are the bags you're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, just the nature of that being out here, it's going to be heavy as a sucker, heavy as a mother.
So it's not just a normal sandbag walk forward, it's something else?
Well, we were talking about how I used to use the front carry in my training. Mm-hmm. And so we would take like a 300, it was actually this massive stuff that we put together. It was 380 pounds, and we would just carry it as far as we could. And it was like, far as we could, to the point where, you know, you would almost fall down. I thought that's what you're talking about. Yeah, like a failure walk.
Yeah.
I didn't know if Mark was going to have you do that. I was like, shit, man.
Just walk as long as possible until you fail.
Yeah, so it's almost better to have something heavy, because if it's like you're 150 pounds, you're gonna be walking around the building.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to slowly pull the Band-Aid off, or do you want to just rip it?
Yeah, I'm not trying to do a failure walk right now.
I'll take one for a little spin.
I'll follow you and take one with you.
Yeah. All right, ready?
Here we go. In honor of Jon Andersen. You feeling those hammies?
Yep. gonna turn her around. Wow.
You feeling it?
Don't stop. Keep going.
The hammies barking.
Yeah.
It's all about the hammies first. It starts climbing up.
Hammies and glutes.
Yeah, hammies, glutes, and once it gets to the lower back, then you're going to start to fail.
I got torched.
Because it just starts going up.
Nice work, Nsima. Wow.
Isn't that crazy, dude? Is it you?
I mean, I pick stuff up and walk with it all the time, but not for distance like that, you know?
When you felt it going up, but when hamstring, once it gets to the lower back, you're close.
Yeah.
Because it's just climbing up.
It sucks too, like whenever you stop in strongman, kiss of death.
Yeah.
Like when guys lose farmers.
Yeah. Trouble.
Right there.
Because once you got it up, you got to keep moving.
Yep.
But that difficult thing we talked about, this will fit that category every time.
Right, it's nice.
Dude, your calves, I think, are bigger than I've ever seen them.
Nice.
You've been driving a sled a lot?
I hurt my foot, so I've been doing calf work.
I say they look monstrous, dude.
I've been like really trying to like I'll get on certain things, and rather than just like flexing the foot here, I'll flex and get way up on the toe.
Yeah.
And I try to get a little stretch at the
Your
bottom.
calves are looking massive.
And just getting leaner, I think, helps too.
Yeah.
Dude, that was awesome. Good job. I like it. We learn something new every time. This thing's kind of cool. You might like this.
Not so much
Torture
anymore.
device.
Mark was asking me that, and I said, we used to do it as like a staple of our training and strength.
So
but,
you got like an owie.
but it would do it like you
say
knew
your
you
quad
needed
or
to do it,
something.
but it wasn't like, oh man, I can't
Not
wait.
here.
So when I was done, I was like, I'm good. I've done enough of these because it's like. I would do it to beat myself up so that way the next events what I was working on was that much more difficult, more like a contest simulation. Kind of like I'm sure in your training, when you're getting ready, you got a fresh guy coming in on you. Yeah. And it's just like the idea is just to be difficult, be harder than what you're going to see there. Exactly. Yeah, and so it's kind of like, there's maybe come a time where you just are having fun with it. You're like, I don't need the fresh guy coming in. I'll just do the 5-minute rounds with, that's kind of where I left the sandbag. The sandbag was that fresh guy for me.
That's the thing about the sandbags, though. They never really feel easy. Even if it's lighter, it's still for some reason kind of hard to pick up.
Oh, dude. Yeah, and for me, if I didn't have someone to compete with, it was no juice.
Yeah.
What am I doing this for? I got to have some. If I'm not trying to win, what am I doing? This is a lot of pain for nothing.
That's why I love it, though.
Yeah. How's your competitions going? Good? Good. Dude, you're looking massive, dude. Like your legs, like when you're carrying those bags. I mean, I remember you being a thick dude, but your legs.
Now, my legs have always been the bigger part of my physique. It's like the legs is where I hold most.
I just remember bigger than I remember. How's that?
Well, that's good. I'll take it. I'll take it for sure.
Yeah.
We're digging in with these sticks right here.
Yeah, I'll say, what is it?
Try it on your calf. You don't need the spike part. You just.
I think that this would be great.
Dude, look at the legs. 50. She just turned 54, by the way. 54 years old. She's got better legs than.
Legs are shredded.
I'm just trying to keep up.
The legs aren't good enough though to beat you on the stairs.
Yeah, let's try a 300 though. You ain't catching. If we're on flat ground, you ain't catching.
That was a good story. That was funny.
Yeah, that was and because I used to.
There's like folklore around your training. Do you know that?
No. Well, I mean, I've heard little bits, but coming from somebody like you, you're almost like a strength historian now, brother.
Yeah, I hear little waves though of stuff. Like I heard one of the things I heard is like, I guess you were like, who knows what's true or whatever at this point, right? But I heard you just like waiting for somebody one day, and you just kept doing like set after set of like rear delts, and somebody said you did like 100 sets of like rear delts or something.
Yes. Oh no, he'll do ridiculous sets. Like, no, my favorite was.
You're like frustrated because you're like somebody was like not showing up to time.
Well, you know, usually it's funny enough. The stories are almost always true, but they're driven by me being mad at something. I'm never mad at something. I'm so. I mean, you talk
maybe
to
frustrated,
people,
maybe.
Yeah, people that I mean, granted, am I going to get with a program? Am I going to be focused and I'm going to be kicked? Hell yes, but it's usually that I'm not mad at you. Well, if I'm mad at you once, you'll go over there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you go in a new category.
The hang clean one was one where everybody just stopped in the gym, like.
Oh,
it was like you did
101 with 100 kilos.
101 reps.
Wow.
With 100 kilos hang cleans.
Oh, it's not hang, it was regular.
Regular clean, a straight clean.
Yeah. You know the crazy part
was that anything you set out to do or you just did it?
No.
You just sort of lost your mind and just did it?
I was working with some kids. Yeah, literally. I was working with some kids and I was like, okay, I got them to the point where they were all doing it. So, okay, now let's each pick a weight and let's just do a set, 10, 20, 30 reps, just get in that groove and just feel that groove. Because when you're cleaning, you want to feel it over and over and over. It's like that. It's like getting into the muscle memory and the subconscious. And so, like one of the kids had like 15 kilos. Another one had 20. And got into some of the, one of the kids had on, I think he went up to like, it was a blue and a green, which would have been 80 kilos. Well, shit, I can't not put on 90.
Right.
So I put on 100 and I started going. And, of course, it's that environment. It was at my gym. Everybody's cheering each other on. And I was just like, God, this is feeling pretty damn good. And I just go, I'll just do another 5. I'll just do another 5. And then next thing you know, it's like I wasn't really paying attention. Somebody said, dude, you're like 60 reps. I was like, whoa. Well, we better make something of this. I've come this far down the path, and it started getting difficult once I got into the 70s. It was like I was starting to get crampy, right? And so I would like have to start kind of pushing off of one leg, let the other leg chill a little bit, and then the sweat was coming to my hands. So you remember Yasha Faye? So he kept bringing me pieces of chalk, so I'm breaking the chalk, and I ended up getting to 100. And I was like, but there's more. And I was like, where am I going to go? 200?
Yeah, right.
So I just did one more, just like to say, yes, I can keep going. And then when I was done, I just started kind of melting.
Did your forearms and stuff must have been crazy,
everything.
Right? Yeah.
The next 2-3 days, I was really in a bad space. I mean, it wore me deep, And I remember when I was
deep water.
Yeah, that was literally deep water. I remember sitting there, and you have one of those moments where you just you feel so accomplished. I was just sitting like on this wood, right? Not comfortable, but I was so content because I wasn't doing that anymore. It was a cool spot. That was one of those moments where I wish that
let's go do these with Nsima. That looks like too much fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going to join you. You look like you're having too much fun.
Dude, the power sandals. Let's go.
Yep.
So it's okay. How many? Go down the list of your businesses now.
Well, I have 3 main businesses. And then I sell fentanyl on the side. Yeah, I have Slingshot.
Yeah.
Within You brand, which is a supplements,
and that's got a whole bunch. That's the package of shit you sent me.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff. That's
the steak shake and all.
So that's all housed in one company.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That was quite a line. It was all amazing shit, by the way.
And then I have some Kratom Kava products.
Yeah, you sent me that too. So is that a different?
That's a different company. Yep.
So Slingshot. What was it you say? Within You?
Within You, yep.
Within You, and then what's the other one?
Mind Bullet, Kratom, yep.
Mind Bullet, right on. Yeah, talk about...
And then some like collaborative stuff we've done with like the sandal company. It's called Shamma Sandals.
I mean, it's great. I love the fact that, you know, the discipline that we developed, you can transfer it. You know, it's like when I just started my peptide company. You know, it went from an idea to a functioning company. So I have all the personnel.
How long have you had that company for?
I just started it. You know, I mean, it went from an idea into fully functional in 21 days because I got all the personnel.
We had Chase Irons. You're probably familiar with Chase, right?
Yeah.
We had him on the podcast, and he's doing so well with his business. But one of the things he did is he went out to, do you know who Alex Hermosi is? Mm-hmm. He went out to one of the Alex Hermosi camp things, and he said it was revolutionary for him. He's like, you know, he just started too, and he's already off to the races doing really well.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's cool. Like, you know, to know business, you have to go out there and really learn.
Yeah.
And why not learn from people that are already successful, right?
Yeah.
And you've had a bunch of businesses over there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've never had a job. I mean, I literally have never been to an interview. I came out of college and just literally starting businesses. I had my first one where I sold I mean, shit, this is before I'm trying to think what year it was. Back before I basically sold a company. I actually sold a company, made $500,000 when I was in my 20s. You know, and this is back, you know, when, you know, like internet was just kind of getting started, so it wasn't like there was an easy way to market a company. You know what I mean? It was
your set. Stop being so fat. He has a fat kid inside of him. It's still there, right, John?
Oh yeah,
fat kid.
Yeah. Although I think Red TrueTide has definitely seemed to.
It's helping the screaming fat kid.
Well, it's reprogramming him. You know, it's like helping.
Tell us about it. What's Red TrueTide for people watching?
Red TrueTide is basically it's the third generation. There was the GLP-1, Ozempic, then 2, which was tirzepatide, then 3, which is Red TrueTide. The difference is the Red TrueTide pulls 3 levers. Generation 1 was 1 lever. Generation 2, 2 levers. But with Red TrueTide, it does something to the addictive center in the brain.
Oh, it helps people sometimes with alcohol and stuff, right?
Yeah, they found that the people that were having trouble overeating sometimes also stop drinking and stop gambling. Well, food for me is an addiction. You know, sugar's an addiction. And so it's basically the simplest way to put it. Like the little fat kid was always afraid he wasn't going to get any more sugar. So he was always pushing more and more and more now. Now he just kind of chills. So it's just made that.
Like that after dinner, like I want something sweet type thing is dull.
Yeah, I'm not hungry.
What they call it, food noise, right?
Not hungry. This is the refrigerator. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What am I going to eat? Why am I going to eat? Not hungry. It's because the fat kid wants to be entertained.
For some reason, you think something new is going to show up in there.
But that's the problem, and I've
close
dealt with that
like a magic trick. You
dealt with
open
that
it
my
up.
whole life. And see what the real magic for me was in that is that. So like Terry and I after dinner we were doing something. I didn't realize how much of my mental bandwidth was fighting off not eating something I was supposed to. Now I can give, maybe 25% was that, 75% with her. Now I can be totally present because that food noise is gone, which to me that's...
You never heard a word she said otherwise. You're just thinking about the food.
I swear to God, there was, or we would like, sometimes we're watching a movie and I'm like, fuck man, you know, it's like, it's just like Chinese water torch, just a dent, that little drip just keeps coming.
So you've never been able to like shut that off?
No, I've just had the discipline to hold it back. Yeah, it's a discipline thing. It's not a... Red TrueTide is more of the switch.
I think all the exercise too probably leads you to be fairly hungry too, right?
Totally. Well, and the thing about it is if I would not be hungry and I would still have that voice telling me to eat.
Right.
So I think the real value for me in this is that it's given me back. I didn't realize most of my life, or probably my whole life, 25% of my mental bandwidth was put towards managing this bullshit. Now I get to have that. Talk about a massive...
And when you were a kid, were you actually fat, or you just feel like you were fat, or were you like heavy?
All the above. I mean, really what it came down to was,
I guess if you feel fat, that's enough. I guess.
Once I got identified with learning disability, as I know you understand, you know, I was basically had a hard time learning the way other kids did. And all of a sudden one day you find yourself, you're in your parent-teacher meeting, and they're like, oh, we're going to put you in a different class. You're like, oh, great, new friends. Then you go in this class and realize, holy shit, these are not the normal kids. And so that happened, which made me easy.
At that time, there wasn't as much help as there is now.
It was,
and so you would be in classes with kids that needed
like real help.
A lot of help.
Help.
They needed almost.
They weren't going to have normal lives.
They need almost more one-on-one attention.
So,
they need more teachers.
As soon as I got put in that room, all of a sudden I became like a hot target for being picked on, and my remedy was food. So it was just this thing that just kept spinning. And then, you know, by the time that I'm 17 was when I had my first real. So it started spinning. I went from, you know, basically that's kind of where it was. Overweight, yes. Not terribly overweight, but overweight enough to where it was, you know, my self-esteem was fucked up, and I used food for comfort, and it was always sugar, and it was something I couldn't control. And then 17 years old, I was the second kid as a junior to max. We had to max for weightlifting for football. Second kid as a junior who squatted 405. Yeah, and that was, and all of a sudden I went from the kid that was kind of getting bumped down the hall to the kid that all of a sudden people are starting to actually kind of let me go through. I was like, whoa. So that's when I discovered that, you know, okay, there's something else here. I might be good at something. And then I started working hard. Now I already developed that work ethic because I'm busting my ass trying to learn to read and everything else, and I'm working twice as hard as everybody else. So I applied that to weightlifting, and this is kind of what helped me get a hold of the food noise, because now all of a sudden I've got something that is working against all that. I'm getting better, and as long as I was engaging getting better, that's how I learned to manage this. But then as soon as, like, whenever we start lifting weights, and then you fall off, right? When I would fall off, it would go flopping back to the other side. It was either self-improvement or self-loathing. There was nothing in the middle. And so that's where the whole thing started. And then as I got better and more disciplined, I learned to manage it, but it never left. So that's kind of all of a sudden the red Peptide comes along, and I was like, whoa. It was just like one day I was like, I didn't go to the refrigerator. That's weird. Kind of like with the, my arm didn't go to sleep
the only
today.
other time you do that is if you were sick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So it's funny because, you know, I started my peptide company because, I mean, myself and friends and even clients, you know, very interested, but didn't really know how a good place to source them. That's the big problem with peptides. It's the Wild West, you know. Right. And so I established, you know, 2 personal relationships with 2 suppliers where I actually have the owner's cell phone numbers, where I can call and talk to one of them this morning. Cool. So I can keep my finger on the pulse of the health of the company, because these companies, you know, they start doing well, realize how much money's there, and all of a sudden it becomes a moneymaker rather than let's help people. Right. And we've seen what happens when a company does that. They go to shit real quick. So anyway, so the whole peptide thing came along. I never, at that point, never heard of red Peptide. I was more interested in, you know, the BPCs and the TBs and the coppers. And then as I started looking deeper into it, it was just a GLP-1 in my mind was just, you know, people who didn't have the discipline to do what they're supposed to do. Anyway, so
we had Vigorous Steve on probably almost maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever heard about it, and I was like, oh, that sounds super interesting.
Well, and the thing with you know, like Ozempic too, or that's the
Jarno and
it's like, you know, if the medical field actually helped people understand how to use them, it would have been much more successful. But the way that they're telling people to take these big doses once a week,
Right,
guaranteed to make people sick.
So we just got done with a workout. I'm just gnawing down some fruit. I think he's got
I got my wife going to get me a burger in a bag.
meat bag.
That's it.
We had a great workout. Hopefully you're massively inspired by this workout by these two old washed up gentlemen here.
How old are you now, brother?
48.
Yeah, we're not too far. We're 5 years apart.
53, 48. Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later. Bye.